Good morning, traders. This is Brad Matheny. Yes, my throat is still a little hoarse, but I'm getting through it. This is the SPY chart daily, and I have gone through and updated the SPY cycle patterns. Oops, wrong one. I have updated the SPY cycle patterns to show us what's going on today and yesterday. I've identified new patterns. Close minus one defender was yesterday, which means I'll show you what that means. And today is a close minus one gap trend. So today means that, well, let's take a look at yesterday. So close minus one defender would mean that we would come over here, spread this out. A close minus one defender means that we are, and I'm going to make this a little wider because we've had such a big rally. We are defending yesterday's close. Okay, so here's yesterday's close. This is where we would be defending this area right here. We opened above it. We fell down below it. We did not defend it. It turned into a rotating bar. So this is a close minus one defender. Today's trend should be a gap, okay, of yesterday's close. So here's yesterday's close. We should get either a gap down indicating trending downward. Remember, we are still defending this close minus one level right here. So this is our defender level. And if we open up here pre-market, we would be expecting some upward movement. So the close minus one defender and gap close minus one trend are similar in the sense that they are defending yesterday's close. And that's the way I interpret them. Now, there weren't a lot of patterns to look at. A couple of weekends, one holiday pattern showed up yesterday on December 25th. It was very odd. It was really only one other day I could refer to. But in reality, these new patterns that I defined are what are called close minus one defenders. So when we take a look at this, you can see that close minus one defender, close minus one gap trend. So today we have a good chance of seeing some sort of a gap and some sort of trending. It depends on whether we close above or open above or below the previous day's close, which is 560, 80, or 77 right here, 560.79. So it's really going to depend on whether we open up here or open down here as to what I believe is likely to take place. Right now, we're at 560.43. We're down 36 cents. We still have 2 hours to go or an hour and a half to go before the market opens. So we have a lot of opportunity here to potentially see where price is going to move and where price is going to open. I'll tell you right now that if we get any type of news this morning and price moves back up above 560.79, then I think we're going to see a pretty good rally day. And if it does not open above 560.79, then I would expect us to pull back down into this level here, this call it 55 level. Well, yeah, 555.41. So gives you an example of where we're at. Now I've built a new lookup mapping utility over the last 2 days. It helps me speed through these patterns. So the next thing I'm going to do is take the same technology and try to identify more patterns in the gold cycle system. So this is going to fill out some empty spaces in the gold patterns, and I may be able to do more. Like I might be able to build a QQQ version, or I might be able to build an intraday version. Having the ability to, take a month and a half worth of work and do it in 3 days it speeds up the entire process. So as we're moving forward, let's come back over here. Remember, I still believe we're going to melt upward into this big, broader trend. So we have this real solid flagging formation here that's going to likely continue to see us move upward. What we're talking about here is rotation, which I clearly highlighted last week and early this week. Prior to this gap window here, we're gonna consolidate probably through most of this week before we try to break out. Maybe Thursday, maybe Friday, maybe next Monday, almost a week from now, we'll get some sort of an upward move. But I really do feel we need to consolidate here. It's just what price needs to do. We had a very solid rally. I don't think we're going to see a big sell off. If anything, we'll probably come right back down to this 550, 530, 555, sorry, 553.50 area, maybe, before we see some kind of a lift off again. Okay, let's take a look at gold. Gold is moving a bit sideways. You can see we are stalling. We're in this apexing formation again, this flagging formation. Interesting setup. These are all the lines that I drew yesterday. We are still consolidating around this 25.55 area. I don't believe we're going to see too much of an upward trend here. I mean, gold is eventually going to break out to the upside. So, I would give it, you know, maybe today, more likely tomorrow, we're going to see some kind of a upward move, maybe Thursday, Friday. The dollar is was moving up a little bit yesterday. If I'm referring to this correctly, and I think we're going to just really kind of stall out into this apexing pattern. The real big move is going to occur when we get above this 2570 area. And that I think is going to be Thursday, Friday. So I really don't think gold's gonna do too much today. Although if we did get above, say, 2560, 2570, it could be an early move, kind of a breakout phase up into this 27 or 2600 area, fairly quickly. But I really don't think that's going to come or start to materialize until Thursday, Friday of this week, maybe Monday, Tuesday of next week. I think we're going to kind of roll into this lower channel and then rip higher. So we'll see how that goes. And then Bitcoin minus 532 right now, really rolling back down actually, kind of in line with what I expected with this area right here. But I would suggest again at this point that we need to hold above this 61,800 or 61,900 area, and that we will likely see Bitcoin attempt to hold above this area here back into this flagging channel. So we get a little below it here. I think we're going to bounce back up and try to find some upward channeling up into this area. So I would not be surprised to see Bitcoin turn around and be back up to 63,400, 64,000 within the next 2 days. This could be a very strained move downward after this big rally phase. And again, we do have this critical support right down here at roughly 61,800, and then 61,400 and 60,700. So again, it makes sense to me that Bitcoin would stall in these early morning trends and roll back upward, which again could very well be in alignment with the SPY. So again, right now we're at 60.39, we're off 45 cents. If we get a solid reversal bar to the upside, or we open up, above this level, um, I want you to, above yesterday's close, I want you to be aware that we could see a very solid rally bar today. And that could play into Bitcoin again just as easily. If we open on the SPY above yesterday's close and get a rally bar, we could see Bitcoin rally as well off of these lows. So, again, the biggest thing I can tell you about today is that we have an opportunity for trends. It depends on where the market opens, the SPY. Gold is, I think, going to stay somewhat muted today, and the the Bitcoin could stay somewhat muted today as well. Now, if the SPY does break down or begin to rally quite excessively, then I think Bitcoin could begin to move as well. You can see the Japanese yen is higher, the German market's higher, the UK is higher. We could see a big reversal from where we're at right now in the SPY. We're down 560.28. We're down 51 cents. I want you to realize that we have a lot of real bullish activity overseas right now, and we could see the markets really change direction right before the open. So again, watch yesterday's close. 560.79. If we open above that level, I think we've got a really good chance of a rally bar. If we open below that level, I think we've got a pretty good chance of a downward trending bar, and that's going to be my defining factor for Bitcoin and potentially even gold. If we see the dollar rally and if we see the markets rally, then gold could continue to struggle. Bitcoin might move higher. If we see the markets down and the dollar down, then we might see an upward move in gold. Maybe. This is a trending bar, so it's likely going to pick a direction and go. All right, guys, that's it for now. Talk to you later.